Hey, I'm Eric from the Last Royals.
I'm Mason from the Last Royals.
Yeah, and we're the Last Royals.
Where are you guys from?
From Brooklyn, New York.
So tell me a little bit about how you guys got started playing together.
I met Mason a couple years back. We were working on a compilation project for a nonprofit in New York that's pretty heavy. They help rehabilitate women that are stuck in the sex trade industry. They're called Restore NYC, and some songwriters and I got together to do a compilation for them. Not necessarily something that would make them money, but just be a publicity thing for them, just to get their name out there. So Mason, through another friend, got called in to be the drummer on the session. And so we first met really working in the studio, which was great, and we had a great time making that record.
From a songwriting perspective, do you guys write together, or is it you primarily do most of the writing?
For this record, the songs were kind of around in sort of laptop world before we got a hold of them. So I had written these songs, but we really hope for the next record that we can all sort of do the full band writing thing.
Now you have a single that's been out on the radio for a while. Tell us a little bit about that and when that came out.
Yeah, it's called Crystal Vases. Just kind of a cool surprise for all of us. We put out an EP with Ooh La La about a year ago now, and it just, you know, you never know what's going to be the thing that people grab onto, and if someone claims to know what they think the single is, then they probably don't know what they're talking about, you know, just by default. So a couple radio programmers just sort of sunk their teeth into it and sought us out and just said, hey, we want to help, we love the song. And so it was just a really neat surprise, and so just watching it over the course of the year kind of just find its way to people has been beautiful.
So when you wrote it, you weren't thinking this was going to be your hit single?
No, I mean, the song was kind of a joke. I actually accidentally included it on the demos that I sent to my manager when we were about to make the record. I didn't mean to include it, and he was like, oh yeah, this is the one, this is the one. So it's a bit of a joke, but like it's, you know, it shows that I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah.
And have you been driving around at all and just heard it on the radio or heard it something like that, and it's kind of like hit you?
I've never heard it.
I have, yeah. It was kind of weird because it comes up on Sirius Alt Nation, like the name of the band, and so that's kind of the surreal part. Even though hearing it's a little weird too. So.
Yeah, I've never heard it. Everybody is always texting me, oh, you're on the radio, and I think it could be some cruel joke that all my friends are playing on me.
So now the song was out on your EP, but you have an album that you've been working on.
Yeah, it's done.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's going to be called Twistification. It's done. We've just been sort of in fits and starts over the course of a year working on it, finishing it. We all do a few different other projects in New York just to stay alive, and we just, you know, money stuff, we just weren't able to go at it for like 3 months straight, so it kind of took us a year to do it, but really, really happy with it. Finally sounds like a group of 4 guys playing music. We're kind of a 4-piece now, actually, which is pretty awesome.
So if someone heard on Sirius XM, let's say, your Crystal Vases, are they gonna, when they hear the new album, is it gonna resonate with them, or is it gonna be sort of a a little bit different, kind of variety?
That's a good question. It's definitely, I think, an album that has a bit of variety on it, but no, I think people will get it. You know, it's still me singing and sort of like being an idiot, and I think the album though is a little bit more melancholy than this song is, just in terms of just the sort of sonics of it. It's a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more beauty, less sort of like tongue-in-cheek, perhaps. That's kind of my take on it.
That song definitely has a pop flair. So.
Yeah, so I mean, it's still a pop record, you know, but it's, yeah, I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens. I don't claim to know anything anymore.
Absolutely. So, when the album comes out, what are you doing in support of it? Are you touring at all, or what are the plans?
Yeah, well, our friends Lovejoy right over here, they're working hard on their new record right now, which is amazing, and we're just sort of getting out next month to just sort of stretch our legs for just 8 shows with them to get started playing some of these songs for the first time, which is always a bear. You know, it's just a whole new, we have to totally switch gears and relearn these songs. And then we hope to do, a fair amount of touring when the record hits in June or July, is what we're told by our label, but it's really going to depend on just coordination with them and agents and all that.
So if you guys are looking at your careers, I guess, as a band, do you have a band that's out there right now that you just aspire to sort of emulate your not your music necessarily, but your career path after?
It's a good question.
Band you just look up to.
Yeah, I mean, I myself really aspire to be a songwriter more than anything. Like, I know that, you know, all like the great rock and roll people will tell you that it's unsustainable to just tour. Even if you get incredibly successful, like you still have to figure out something to do when you're done, even if not to just not go crazy. And I don't know, there's all these bands that had like hits, like Semisonic, for example. I think is kind of a cool. They're not like one of my favorite bands, but like what's his name? Dan Wilson. Like, he wrote all those tunes. Great, couple pop records. They did great, and now he's a producer and a songwriter and just sort of like doing it. You know, exactly. Like, I would love to be in a position like that down the road. On the other hand, like, I've also always dreamed of just being in a one for all for one rock band for my life, which is just sort of, I think, everybody's dream. It's kind of like the equivalent of being in a gang. So if that could happen, that'd be amazing too. In that case, I mean, U2 is no better example than them.
Very cool. If people want to learn more about you, where do they head?
Just our website, thelostroyals.com.
And do we have a release date for the album yet?
I'm told June or July, probably July. I don't know the exact date yet, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
And finally, have you been to Austin or been to South by Southwest?
Yeah. I'm from Austin. I grew up here, so yeah, I've been once or twice, I guess.
I've been a few times, yeah. It's like my third time here.
Do you have a favorite city to play in
Anything but Nashville.
Anything but Nashville?
Yeah. Nashville's full of like really great artists, and they all just sit there in the room like this. I actually love playing like Ohio and stuff. Where people just like love music there, and places where the states still allow like people underage to get into the clubs. Like, any place like that makes for a great music town.
So maybe not New York.
Not New York, exactly. You got to be 21 to see music, which is yeah.
Cool. Do you guys have anything else to add?
No, thank you. Happy to be here.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.